Well, you had the tone of somebody that was doing a podcast at that moment. So I was like, oh, we're into it.
I was just getting into conversation, and then you started saying how I said Ocean City was all wrong. I was like, I don't understand what's.
Say it. No. Say it. Say it. Don't try to not say it the way you say it. Say it the way you say it.
I'm from Ocean City, Maryland.
There it is. That's it right there. Don't you?
Well,
the last time you did it before that, you tried to like clean it up. I felt it.
I can't. It's so. I don't understand when you say like, because someone said it to me recently about the Baltimore accent, and I know how I know how bad it is when you say like Monday and Tuesday, but also like Baltimore, or even though it's Baltimore.
Yeah, but after living there, I say Baltimore. It's like Baltimore.
Yeah.
Not. I've never heard anybody say Balmer. That's so stupid. It's just like it's Baltimore for the people that live there. It's a D. But the Maryland accent is swallowing your O's. It's the same as the Philly accent. It really is. It's like so close where it's like, ocean.
Ocean.
I don't even, it wasn't until Ryan pointed it out on the crab feast was when I realized that there was this Maryland accent. People think that, at least me, when I do stand up, a lot of people think I have like a Southern drawl. But truly, I do have like the Washington, D.C. version of the Maryland accent, which is just like bridges the line between like normal people talk and then the Maryland, like my nephew, my sister lives in Salisbury. So does my mom, actually. It's funny that you live in Ocean City, and I'll be closer to you every 6 months for like a few days when I visit my family than my actual friends. It's like my whole family moved from the Washington, D.C. area after I moved to Los Angeles a few years later. And they all ended up in what is Salisbury's county? Like Wichita, Wicatonka or something?
I'm Worcester County. I'm pretty sure they're part of Worcester, right? Or is that Wicomico County?
I don't know.
All the counties blend into the same. I just know in school when it said 2-hour delay, I was only looking for Worcester County.
Worcester sounds fun.
It's a good sauce. I mean, besides Old Bay, which everyone knows about around here. It's funny because I'll be podcasting with someone that's not from this area, and I'll mention like a crab feast type thing. Like, you ever sit down and have like a nice meal? I talk to a lot of like chefs or something. Everyone's like, what the hell's a crab feast? I'm like, you don't know like the best moment ever?
Crab feast. I actually, picking crabs are kind of a pain in the ass. I wouldn't want to do it a lot. Like if you're hungry, then picking crabs is the worst. It's time. Like
that's
you need to come in already
with
a couple meals in. Yeah.
It's like it's a gift. That's what it is. It's like you have to work for that treat, dude. You got to work for that steak. I mean, out of all the people that I've at least heard on Ryan Sickler's podcast that have worked the hardest to do anything, which is you for sure, just from hearing at least all the stories. I mean, you had literally so many things thrown at you that you did overcome. I mean, not to blow smoke up your ass or anything, but seriously, like you had a lot of like stuff that kind of wasn't going your way at first, but you still perceived and then chased down comedy.
Yeah, I just had to learn, man. That's all it is. It took me a little bit longer to learn the lessons of how to do this. You know what I mean? And then once you make those mistakes, you learn and then you grow. And I mean, I don't regret any of the shit that I've ever done in my life or that's happened to me, because it turned me into the person that I am now. And that's, you know what I mean? It's fantastic. But the whole time, even when I was making mistakes, and we're going to call it that, I always like believed I was going to do something that I wanted to do, or I had a destiny, if you want to even call it that, to do something. And, I think that's at least for me, it's just the things that I care about, the things that I'm into, I just like run towards that when I get excited about something. or if there's something that I want to do, you know, and the other stuff can get left by the wayside, you know, but I've kind of always been like that. So it's, you know.
I mean, just from listening to you through so many episodes, there's just a few things that you said that like kind of really resonated with me. I mean, I like what what Steve Simone talks about with family times and all those types of things. Those are moments I had, but my parents worked 2 jobs. So, I mean, I was spent a lot of time by myself, a lot of time home, it was a giant music background. I mean, if they weren't doing radio during the day, DJ Batman or something, it was at night they were doing DJ gigs.
Are you like a part of this huge Ocean City, like, just like family, like historic Ocean City family?
Not even close.
You mentioned DJ Batman.
Okay, from what I know of DJ
So,
Batman is probably different from what
right.
you know as DJ
So
Batman.
let me tell you, man, because we started talking about it. And what made me want to agree to do this today was because you were from Ocean City. Like,
I guess that's the first time this city has ever done anything for me.
I'm 100%. It got you. If you would have said you were from any other place, well, Maryland. If it was a part of Maryland, if it was another part of Maryland, I would have dragged you around for a little bit and then finally been like, all right. But because you said Ocean City, I was like, oh man. Like, Ocean City to me it was just, as a little kid, I remember being like 14 years old, going to Ocean City, walking that boardwalk while we were on vacation with my parents and my mom's friends. And it was like, I felt like you go into what's so funny, because when you're a little kid, you don't realize that you're standing inside a head shop that sells bowls and fucking, like, it's just, it's like a mix of like Spencer's Gifts. Do you remember Spencer's? Sharper Image, and then a tattoo parlor, everything. And you can find like rock shirts there.
It's all literally what would you call a t-shirt factory. Like on every single block, there's a t-shirt printing store or something there.
Dude, the t-shirt factory, man. I got arrested for stealing an I Love Jesus t-shirt from the t-shirt factory on the boardwalk.
I never did anything that crazy, but it's interesting to see, because like when I even heard you guys mention like DJ Batman or something, like from what I know him as is, I just knew him from when he worked at Secrets, and it was just the weirdest thing, because I would remember my dad would always come, like there would always be a complaint about him or something, because he would be on, they'd had him on the middle of the night, so it was like from like 11 p.m. till like 2 a.m. And then he'd be playing like the weirdest style music, like Beatles or classic oldies in the music on whatever around on the radio at that time. So people are coming home like, why the hell is this playing on this station?
Yeah. So like DJ Batman to us, when I started going to Ocean City with my friends like Greg and Dead Cat and Kenny, and we'd always rent a spot. So my junior year was the first time I went with them to the beach. My junior year, I went to the senior week for the seniors. And when we got down there, we rented this place off of like 2nd Street or 2nd Avenue, whatever is right by the little amusement part of the boardwalk. Yeah, where the Thrashers and all that shit is. But we would watch, and I mean, all we watched in our hotel room was the Ocean City magazine. Do you know what I mean? It was like this channel that just showed you everything that was going on in Ocean City.
That still plays.
I know, but you have to understand, man, it's like there are characters on that channel is just gold of just shitty commercials, larger than life personalities. So first there was the one we loved was Barry the Stallion Stream. Do you know Barry the Stallion Stream?
I don't know him.
He would be like, Funky Cole Musina. It was like a sports book show. He'd be like, he would do this thing that me and my buddies would do, where he'd be like this. He'd be like, Ethan, it's like, it was like, that was his thing. It was this like, this crossover. I did that at my graduation from high school because my friend Greg was in the audience, the Barry the Stallion stream, like fucking. And one of the characters on there was DJ Batman. And DJ Batman was like this party sex god to us, because it was just the whole commercial. The main commercial for him was just like him with girls at all these parties, like, come out Friday night to Fager's Island. We're going to fucking, blah, 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 blah. We've got a whole reggae hula hoop contest over at Mug and Mallet. And then I'll be on Thursday, blah, 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 blah. And then it was just him, like, around all these girls. And at the end of the thing, there were like these 3 girls all staring at him. And they're like, we love you, DJ Batman. And it cuts back to him, and he's just like, all right. And so that was kind of like,
your definition of DJ Batman is different from what I saw him. He did the same thing when I was a kid. He was still on that channel, but he was much older, so it was sadder. Like, you were watching it and you were kind of sad about it. It looked like a man that was kind of losing it a little bit. My dad ran the radio station The Secrets at the time that DJ Batman was on as well. That's how I've known him. I got to meet him and everything, and he just kind of seemed like a little bit crazy to me from like the brief encounters I've had.
Dude, how old are you?
I'm 22.
You're 22. So every summer, have you just been going to the – you're probably just getting laid during senior week, dude.
Let me tell you something.
Why aren't you fucking, dude?
No, I'm not. That's not what I'm –
but you're playing too much Fallout, bro.
That's not what – look, don't – now I see why what do you call it? Jay Larson always kind of gave you a little bit of shit on the podcast. But no, seriously, what I'll say no to was like enjoying the beach and everything. It's a little bit different when you're from here, just because I'm so used to it. Like, I don't want to really like be around, I guess, in Ocean City anymore. I kind of want to travel out somewhere else.
Why? Why would you want to leave?
Because it's like
City.
It's like when you're being from here, it's a lot different. You'll want to go out and explore something completely different. You want to travel a little bit or something.
Dude, you guys are gonna man. You guys are really gonna be affected this summer.
Everything's shut down until summer's over, until next winter. There's already businesses like the gym I've been going to every single day for 7 years is shutting down. I just found out yesterday. So like, there's everybody here's been impacted, and it's probably not going to be the same. We actually had an issue. Hogan left the I guess the bridges open and let the travel thing come through. So when
even your governor's name is so Maryland. Hogan. Governor
Hogan. But when like the spring breakers came down here, and a bunch of them, 28 of them were infected, and just spread it all over. And it's like, so that messed up everything down here. So our numbers just keep increasing. But, I mean, I see it differently, dude. It's something that's going to happen. People think that, you can slow the decrease of it, but it's a tragedy, man. I mean, it sucks that mostly because people are losing their homes and stuff about it, especially here being a tourist town. We're not going to have a summer.
Yeah, but there's enough Marylanders are going to wait. So the beaches are shut down until the next year?
Until basically wintertime. They're talking about opening up in like close to September.
That's not the winter. That's fall.
Dude, but that's the whole summer though.
Autumn, I think, is the best time of the year around the world. Well, it's definitely the best in the East Coast. Actually, no. I'll say autumn is my favorite time of the year. I'll go anywhere in the world. Autumn's the best. Yeah. You didn't ask me a question, but I just.
I like fall a little bit too. I think it's just the temperature of the air. Like, it's not too hot, it's not too cold. I mean, it's really weird. In Ocean City, the weather flips like back and forth, whether it's rain one day or it's like, every 5 minutes it feels like the weather's changing too.
Yeah, Maryland has the best autumns. It really does, because there's enough trees, and they're like the perfect leaves or tree leaves to change to like that like maroon, that like Thanksgiving look.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Dude.
And that's like when it goes into something too. Like if you thought of this, like you think of this place so much like this, why did you end up leaving? Like going from Baltimore all the way to go chase comedy down? I mean, what struck me off a little bit weird is like you have the 500 podcast, the music podcast that kind of analyzes it's Rolling Stones 500 top on the charts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but when you're explaining music, like you said it that kind of related to me a little bit was the fact of you can play an instrument like well, but not like perfect. You know what I mean? But usually if someone's telling you what to play, and like my whole family's been music. My dad's in two bands. My dad's in a Kiss tribute band. You know, doing radio, doing all that. That's all I grew up knowing was Kiss, that whole band era, that whole generation of
Who
music.
is he? Wait, who's your dad in the Kiss band?
The Catman. Peter
So who is
Criss.
that? Peter Criss? He's a
Peter
drummer?
Criss. Yeah.
Does he have an outfit?
Yeah, he had the outfit and everything.
Oh, they have the outfit and they do the makeup for sure. They don't do like Kiss in like 1984 when they went makeupless.
No, they had
and
the outfits.
They looked
They had
ridiculous.
the giant LED letter. I mean, hey, dude, I'm looking at my dad up on stage. Is like that's what I knew him as, man. I mean, I thought it was pretty badass. I mean, there were so many concerts from them playing Rams Head Live, and I was just a little kid. Like I didn't even know. Like I was wearing a Kiss shirt, really didn't know anything but Rock and Roll All Night. I mean, when that came out in a toothbrush. The freaking song was in a toothbrush. That was the first thing my dad got. You know, he would take me to the radio station in the mornings, and I would just see all these statues of the Demon, Star Child, everybody lined up on his desk. And I was like, who the hell is this? And he's like, you don't know who Kiss is? And I was like, no. And he's like, I guess I'm messed up as a dad, because if you don't know who Kiss is, then that's a big thing right there. And then he showed me everything, all his records, everything.
Yeah. I didn't get into Kiss until much later, until the podcast. You know, there's like I'm listening to shit right now that I knew. Dude, I never listened. Like I'm prepping for the Crickets right now, which I had no idea the Crickets were Buddy Holly. I literally thought they were going to be like, you know, I'm telling you now. That's what I thought it was gonna be, like all like cheesy, and it's basically Buddy Holly, and I feel like just the sense of like I can't believe I had heard this or really paid attention to it, and that's the same thing I felt with Kiss. I was just like, what a fantastic band. And I was also, it was really cool. Like right around the time I did the Kiss episode with Jeff Ross, it just so happened that Kiss was playing the Whiskey, and I had a hookup, and he got me into the show, and I got to see Kiss perform in like this very, very small rock club instead of like a huge arena, and it was still fucking great. So I mean, to be in all fairness, I haven't listened to much Kiss since, but I got caught up in it, you know? So I can see why your dad's fucking just, you know.
I mean, he's the guy that when we went to Myrtle Beach, there's a Kiss Cafe down there. So the whole time we were in the hotel room the day before it opened up, he was all like, we're going to go here. We're going to take pictures. We're going to do all this stuff. It's like, it's all Kiss, Kiss, Kiss. He was in a commercial with them. He wasn't happy when he met Gene Simmons, but I guess, you know, sometimes you don't ever really want to meet your heroes when it comes to that. But like what's important about what he's kind of showed me was not only expanding my music, category, but also what music kind of means to you as a person, which I can kind of hear like just from you on your podcast talking about like the deeper meaning of songs and stuff. Like there's songs out there that hit people in a certain way. It's why a lot of people become musicians and why a lot of people love listening to music, because it can do the one thing that's really difficult to do and tap into your emotions. I mean, the power of music, first of all, is one of the, not to sound corny, but I mean, it's pretty special.
Music? Yeah, music's, I don't think there's anything better. Like you can't, if if a song sounds good, you just enjoy it. You don't have to put any thought into it. You can just really, it's just beautiful.
Now, what song means to you? Because I mean, every song, like from maybe as a child, maybe as like a young kid, what was an important song for you? Like for me, I had one of my very first songs. I mean, my dad got me a Black Eyed Peas CD. I mean, that was just something random he tossed out at me before, you know, I actually had taste and went on to something a little bit different. I was in that, you know, the little kids bop type stuff, you know, besides Eminem, listening to Two Trailer Park Girls Go Around the Outside over and over again, because that's the only thing I was apparently interested in.
Yeah, how old were you when Eminem came out?
I was probably very, very little at first. I mean, if you got to think I'm 22 now, Eminem's pretty old. I was listening to him. I think I came across him when I was probably like 3 or 4.
Holy shit.
You got to remember, you're probably a whole another me older. So
No, I'm only 40, so no, it's almost I'm 18 years older than you. I'm not a full you. I think. Yeah.
that math seemed a little
So
bit off.
when I was I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
now.
It's 18 years. You got it. That was perfect. 22 plus 18 is 40.
Yeah.
I failed Algebra 1 3 times. So
I was right.
yeah. Give yourself a pat on the back with that Maryland tattoo. Well, like when it comes to songs though, what is one that like kind of means something to you, or at least sparks up a certain memory in your head?
We're going to talk only Ocean City today. I'm going to relate everything back to Ocean City because it's so when so Ocean City's great, dude. So when we went to Ocean City one year, I just remember like driving up Route 50, you know, after like 2.5 hours and like listening to Pearl Jam's Corduroy. That whole album, Vitalogy. But that summer, our last summer there was that not the last summer we all went, but my actual senior year, or going for senior week. I just remember like we were listening to, we found this CD in like a gas station, like, you know, you go out and you check out and they just have like CDs there for sale from like artists that you've never heard of. And we saw this CD for these guys, the Best of the Brothers Johnson, right? And they're just 2 black dudes like playing bass, and we just had a laugh at how they were dressed, and so we bought the CD. And it happened to be fucking like incredible, like 70s funk, you know, like really funky music, really great. And so we were staying for my senior year, and we're staying literally across the street from the Suntan, the place that we had always stayed at on 2nd Avenue. But we had put that CD on, and we had my friend had a video camera, and we videotaped my friend Mike Seidenberg, aka Dead Cat from DeSheckles, who and we
mean LED.
No. This was DeSheckles time. But we were actually just about to start DeSheckles after this summer. Like this was the beginning of it. But Mike Seidenberg dancing to Get the Funk Out My Face. It's like as soon as I hear that song, because I've listened to it since, not a lot, but I've listened to it every once in a blue moon. And it's just music just takes you back to that memory. Like anytime I hear Lauryn Hill's Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, I think of when I backpacked through Europe. That or Hello Nasty by the Beastie Boys. Like it's that whole album, especially Hello Nasty. That first song, the way it starts, it just reminds me of just being at like a youth hostel in fucking Spain. And it's great, man. Trying to think. I remember one time I'm in Ocean City. This is right before.
This is the Ocean City podcast.
The Ocean City podcast. We're gonna have some Coke. We're gonna do some Maui. We're gonna go to Ocean City where the governor's name is Larry Hogan. Larry Hogan.
Going down to Ocean City.
No, it's too country. But
Hey,
that's like my brother. No, yeah, I guess my brother-in-law. I guess that's what he is. My brother-in-law, my sister's husband. His family's like really Salisbury, and their dad was like, you know, he was great dude, but he was like so, country Maryland, like was in the Vietnam War. He had that. He did kind of talk kind of Maryland country. Go to the
oh,
ocean.
Maryland's that bad, really? I only see a couple things wrong with like the Maryland is the whole fact is people put ketchup on their eggs. I never understood that. And then
Dude, fucking Maryland is the South, and once you get outside of Washington D.C., it's more the South than anything. Do you know what I mean? It's rural. It's like drive Route 50 to DC and just see how and stop at like one of those little small little middle of nowhere towns, which is crazy because there's like there's all these.
it
You
feels
just
like you're in a
forget, man.
movie.
You forget like in a movie.
Did I say it that time too? You're getting me. See, like I've never known that I had this accent at all. Like I've hear my grandparents talk, and I can kind of tell it's a little bit different. But I don't
How do
know.
your grandparents talk? Your grandparents are fifth generation Ocean City.
Fifth generation Ocean City. No, they all live in Baltimore. I'm the only person here that's born and raised in Ocean City. My dad, when he was in high school, he made a on his senior year. Him and his buddy were supposed to come out and travel down here. And before, I think it was like a week before their graduation, there was like they were walking on this like hill because I think their car broke down or something. And this hill in Baltimore, I don't know exactly where at, but it was like just like they were at the bottom end of it, so you're coming up the hill, so you can't see over, so you're just going driving over. And it was their teacher swerved and hit my dad's best friend, and applied the brakes, and it actually crushed his head. Which if he wouldn't have done that, the kid would have been just ran right over. But they made a pack to come down here when they graduated high school. So my dad just came down here and then ended up meeting my mom at Taylor's restaurant where my mom was working. Or was it Taylor or
And
Hall's restaurant?
he knocked her up quick and then got stuck in Ocean City, and that was it.
No, he wanted to live down here, but ended up joining up a band with her.
What kind of music do they play?
My mom was always like, they had this Agent 99 cover band, which was supposed to be like, like songs like Heart, playing like Barracuda. I
Oh
remember
yeah.
that shit pisses me off. It gives me anxiety if you play it now. But she played that style of stuff. She was in a band. But my dad was in a. All right, Josh, we get you. You missed you out on your solo act. But hang
I
on.
can't hit that note. That's a hard one to do. That I'm going
That computer literally cut out when you tried that.
down.
But then my dad, he was in a metal band that he never told me about. I wasn't able to find out until I was older, which they still don't even bring it up today, called Flytrap. And then
What kind of music? What kind of music was Flytrap?
kind of like heavier metal. A lot of stuff that you would think
Like,
of.
what are they? Are they originals or are they covers?
I think they're all originals. Like I said, I barely know anything about them because by the time I was at least like a kid, my dad had stopped doing that, and then they never got back together. I just know it was some weird secret because I would go out to a restaurant with my dad or something, and some person would randomly come up, say hi to my dad, and be like, "When's Flytrap going to start a reunion again?" And I'm like, "What the fuck's this band Flytrap?" And
Dude,
he's
is
just like,
Flytrap on? Is Flytrap on? Fucking. Is
"I
it on? Is it on Spotify?
don't think it's on Spotify. They're pretty old, but I'm pretty sure you could find something on YouTube." I'd have to
Uh,
go and ask my dad exactly where it's at because he'd have to send me a link or something.
the Flytraps,
No, that's not it.
dude. I found them.
That's not them. That's not them. They're not called the Fly Trap.
You sure?
I'm pretty freaking positive that is not theirs. It has a freaking fly that's fused in with a scorpion, and
Dude,
it's like this the size of a bus.
they have a song that says "Ocean City Rocks."
I'm pretty sure that's not them. And there's no way this is a song that says Ocean City Rocks.
Live from Secrets. That's one of their albums. Is Live from Secrets.
Their front album cover is a fly formed into a bus, dude. I don't know how else to explain that. That's all I ever got from that.
Oh wait, I found another one. There's another artist called Flytrap. This is them.
Oh, sweet Lord.
Yeah, dude. Here you go. I found them. This one.
This is fun having you on,
Them?
Josh. Thank you so much, man.
We're trying to launch Flytraps.
Yeah, I mean, they were big. I mean, my uncle was in the band too. Like I said, I don't know too much about it. I mean, most of my music kind of stuff kind of came from discovered it on my own too. I mean, just besides going in like the garage and pulling out old records and finding stuff. I mean, you're talking trash on Fallout, but I mean, I learned old classical music that way too. From Frank Sinatra, stuff I don't know about.
No. I'll back that. Yeah, no, I'll
Yeah.
100%. I dated a girl that loved Fallout. She played Fallout, and the songs that were on there, I mean, were fantastic. It was all stuff from the 50s, and so I'm not shitting on you.
I'll say
I'm shitting on you
because you've just been throwing jabs at Ocean City.
Yeah, I'm having fun, dude.
But look, when it comes to music, though, like there's gaps in it. Like from kids that are coming up now that are listening to nothing but the newer stuff, which I look at the newer stuff as it just kind of seems like it's meant to be in the spotlight just to fade out. Like it's just meant to be in the top charts and get that quick couple, I guess, million sells and then just be right out of there. But like there were songs back in the day that had, I guess, more passion put into it. I mean, if you turn on Superstition by Stevie Wonder now, you immediately start getting tingles. I mean, at least I do. That I could be having a stroke. I don't know. But it's just interesting to hear that too, because the piano is just amazing. You know, it's one of those songs that gets you fired up.
What if you're having mini strokes and you don't realize it?
Probably smelling burnt toast if I was.
Is that what happens when you have a stroke?
That's a sign of a stroke is burnt popcorn or burnt toast. I knew because I got hit by a jet ski, and that's what the guy said to me. He said, you could have something wrong with your brain. He says, if you start smelling burnt toast or burnt popcorn. I said, okay.
Yeah, dude. I've never had a stroke, so I don't know, but music definitely has an impact on, oh, my dog. Music definitely has an impact on my mood. It's like, that's why I think I haven't gotten depressed, and I've just been able to stay extremely positive throughout this whole, stoppage of work. Listening to some of these albums, especially the shit I'm listening to right now, like the girl groups is like it's just all about love and being with your man, and it's just very, very positive, and every song is the basis of every song from that point on for the rest of in perpetuity. The history of mankind.
What do you think about, like, I guess it being taught in school? I don't think it does it justice enough. You know what I mean?
What, the Holocaust?
Okay. That threw me off guard bad.
being taught in school? Music,
yeah, because I feel like I didn't really truly.
I mean, yeah, you have to.
I mean, I didn't truly appreciate it until I hit college and they had a music appreciation class. Like before, if you would have asked me to go to a symphony, I would have been like, go fuck yourself. I'm not going to a symphony. That sounds boring to me. I want to go see whatever my favorite band was. But then when I was watching it actually being performed, I was like, holy shit, this is actually a lot of people that took a lot of time and effort to be able to perform this. And then I was screaming in the back, like, where's the guy with the triangle, as a joke? And then some dude fucking rolls up with the triangle and starts tinging it. And I'm like, there he is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy, dude.
Is Lekka liking you petting her? Because what I'm seeing on screen does not look like you're petting a dog.
I'm DJ off two guys over here. I'm just like
looking. You're like smiling, like, yeah, I got you. DJ Batman.
I'm trying to think of my. Do you think you're ever going to move out of? You think you're ever going to move out of Ocean City?
I don't know. I'd like to, but honestly, it's like what you were saying before. Like you didn't really kind of see things like going anywhere. That's what I kind of see. Like, I don't really see much for me. You know what I mean?
Why?
I don't know. I feel like there's just some people that have like something about them where they go out and do something and they have one opportunity or something, end up missing it.
what do you want to do? I mean, obviously you're podcasting, so you like.
I just enjoy talking to people, to be honest with you. I mean, I
Well,
couldn't play music. I didn't have that talent. It was more like you had to force me to kind of be able to sit and play it, you know?
well, what's great about where you're at right now is that you're only 22, right? So you have a lot of time to figure out what you want. But you can do whatever you want. So just decide on what you want to do, what like you want to try to make money off of, and what you'd be okay with, getting paid or getting called work, and just do it. You're 22 years old. Like don't give up on yourself. This is like,
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure you probably had a moment like this at one point in your life too. I mean, it's hard to see it, like, because you don't know what the end thing's going to be, and then if you're looking back on it, you just have easier answers. I mean, it seems like, especially with the pandemic going on, it's like everybody's losing things left and right. It seems like what's the world going to be like in whatever a week or two or whatever keeps on going on? I mean, from people losing jobs to people losing gigs to doing all this type of stuff, it kind of seems like what the hell the answer or what it's going to be at the future is going to be.
the future is going to be fine. Everybody's going to be fine. We'll get out of this, and we'll go back to normal. That's just what's going to happen. Some people are going to just run right back out on the streets. Other people are going to take their time. That's just the way it's been with social. That was why they had to implement the rules, because some people weren't listening. And now, as soon as they open the beaches here, everybody's going to go. Same thing with Maryland. Maryland, I think, actually has the strictest rollout to getting back to normal than California. I think it's even more strict, which is great.
It's not weeks. Like people are going.
It's months.
Yeah, it's months. People are doing
months, man.
Which is nuts, because this whole thing, there are people that are taking it serious and there's people that are not. Me, I'm just I'm still going to go out, do whatever. Obviously, if I don't need to be, I don't need to be. But at the same time, it's people are going to do what they want. If you're going to end up putting them on restrictions, you're going to see what's already happened with domestic abuse going up. People are going to end up doing whatever they want. You know what I mean? That's the whole thing. Mm-hmm. It's just how long until that happens. You started seeing in Florida, people just started going on the beach with telling cops go fuck off, because
Florida's the stupidest. Florida is dumb. That state, I'm sorry, it's just they have some really weird rules. People, it's such a mishmash of old Jewish people and extremely racist people. Florida, some of the most racist people I've met are from Florida. So they shouldn't even be a part of the union. They should be gone. Florida should be we should sell it back to whoever we bought it from.
Just let the Gators take over.
But I think Maryland's doing a really good job, and that's fine if it's weeks. It sucks. I can be extremely empathetic for a lot of people that are probably in a tough time. You know what I mean? It's because I think the comedy world is going to change, which sucks because we were having a lot of fun. This is supposed to be a really fun year. I was so excited. I was going to go see Rage Against the Machine in El Paso right before the night before Skankfest. That was the March 26th. That was when that got canceled. That was when I knew it was real. I was like, man, I was going to be backstage for the first concert in 9 years, hanging with the band.
What's your most memorable concert?
My most memorable concert? Old Dirty Bastard in 2000, and it could have been 2000, could have been 2001, it could have been 2002, or even, it's before he went to jail, or it was when he was getting in and out. So it was during when it was really nuts for him. So maybe even 99, but we saw him in the Brooklyn Zoo at the 930 Club. And it was just so packed, man. Dude, it was I used to go to 930 Club a lot. I mean, they had the stage pushed all the way back to fit the most amount of people, because that was a really cool club, because the stage was, you can move it back and forth. So if it was a smaller cell or a smaller band, you can move the stage and split the club in half almost, and it doesn't look weird. It was cool. And so it was just completely sold out, and we were all the way in the back, and I remember he's late. Finally, the show starts, and like he comes out there, and he just sits on stage, and just there's barely any music, and he just like chugs this whole bottle of vodka after sitting there still for like 3 minutes, and then they went right into like Brooklyn Zoo, and people started fighting in the show, like the audience, so quickly, and it was like the security was just pulling people out. And eventually, by halfway through the show, it went from so packed to like half full because like so many people had gotten kicked out. And we were like right up front. And it was just, Wu-Tang was such an important band in my life in my senior year of high school. I was like, that was all I listened to. And so to be able to see him especially after he died, he never, all the Wu-Tang shows I'd ever seen, he was either in jail or just didn't show up. So to be able to have seen just Old Dirty Bastard in concert, it was magical. It was transcendent. It was a show that
you get a high after it. That's what it is.
Well, it wasn't even a high. It's years later I think about it and I'm just like, wow, man, that's a cool one. That's the coolest show I've seen, I think. Because I've seen, it's just, I don't know. It's like seeing someone like Old Dirty Bastard, and this might sound ridiculous, but I can put him on the level of musical icons for this small window, not on the length of as like someone like John Lennon, but he's definitely someone like Buddy Holly. He's like a legend. Old Dirty Bastard made one fantastic record. It's just incredible. It was just a really cool show.
My first concert that I think I went to by myself, not like going with like my grandparents. I saw 311 with my grandparents, but like going by myself when I was like 16 years old, I went to go see Slightly Stupid.
Nana, are you having a good time? And your Nana's just like, "Come original, you got to come original."
Dude, my grandma was
Nana's
Nana's the 2-beer queer in our family.
And you wake up to me.
That was actually pretty sick. It was in Vegas, man. She introduced my brother.
311 was ruined for me. 311, I had like high school friends.
I had everything I like you hate, Josh.
I don't hate it. I just know 311 is. I was going to explain myself. 311 is a band that was ruined by my friends in high school. Like that was all they listened to. That was all they listened to was 311. And it just was it was played so much for the 4 or 5 years, even longer than that I knew those guys. That's just, yeah, man. You love them too much, so I can't tell you the full story because you got mad.
No, my brother's more of a fan of that music than I am. I just enjoyed it because like the first time that I ever really went to a concert that, I was with my grandparents, like I said, but my very first concert was Slightly Stupid. I'm a big Sublime fan. I didn't discover that until obviously after he was gone. But like, my first concert I went to go seeing Slightly Stupid on my birthday. I just turned 16 years old and they played for 3 hours past when they were supposed to because it was New Year's Eve. So they rocked it into New Year's Day till like 3 o'clock in the morning. And then everybody's leaving because they're all got to go back and get some sleep or go to work the next day or something. And he jumps down stage and grabs me. And he's just like, "Dude, how old are you?" And I'm like, 16 years old. He's like, "You're 16 years old and you're here?" And he's like, "You want to smoke a joint?" I'm like, "What?" Like, it's just too much going on at 3 o'clock in the morning for my brain to fucking handle.
Who did you get high with? Nick Hexum?
Not 311, Slightly Stupid, dude.
Oh, Slightly Stupid.
Yeah. Mile and Kyle.
Yeah, man.
They were signed on to Sublime Records back in high school, which I think is dope. And they're just wrestling coaches for a school.
It is dope. I've never really listened to Slightly Stupid. or any other, like, I know there's a band called
Revolution.
Revolution. Um, there's Collie Buds. Collie Buds they have a song that I used to play at the strip club.
I know, probably Blind to You or Come Around.
Come Around. It was Come Around. It was Come Around. It was on. How does Come Around go? Remind me.
So it's like finally the herbs come around or something
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
it was like finally the herbs come. But about so yeah,
And you
this chick
find out
gets.
it's a white guy, and you're like, "Whoa, I was not expecting that."
Oh, I knew it was white. I know white reggae when I hear it, and that's why I don't like 311, and that's why I don't like any of those bands. I'm sorry that you love them, but I hate white reggae. I stand by that statement. I don't think white people should be doing reggae. For some reason, it just feels wrong. I think you can take a reggae tone, you could do it right, kind of like the Police. But
10.
what did I say? Did I do
You
that?
said 10.
Did I do that? Fuck yeah, dude. You could do it.
You can hear the lips curl at the ending when you have the O come out. Hey.
I'm gonna drink some cake. I want some cake.
Some cake.
But yeah, I don't. You listen. I know so many people. I know so many people that love 311. So many, and they keep rocking. They do a cruise. Like they're big enough. They're huge. So they, like, me shitting on them doesn't mean anything. Like, it's just
I mean, you like what you like, dude. That's the thing. Like Red Hot.
They're not
Chili Peppers.
bad. I just don't like it. I think they are what they've built a huge career, have a huge following, and I see what it is. It's just white people. White people like to fucking. It's like it's white reggae. You know what I mean? It's easier to, like, not be afraid that black people are gonna steal from you.
Well,
At the
it's like
concerts, you know.
another one for me would be like Red Hot Chili Peppers too. Like we used to have a drum set just in the middle of our family room, so people would just randomly be coming in and playing drums, just sitting down, and like that was always a big thing. I think I would
They
be
had
watching.
they had to play Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Well, that was like I had a Sling, or my brother had a DVD that was live at the Sling Castle. So I would steal that DVD, get high, and watch the DVD, which made that concert felt like it lasted 13 fucking hours. So I'm sitting there with chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream, fucking watching Red Hot Chili Peppers and seeing John Frusciante just hit these guitar notes, and you get to see, like, that's where I started noticing, like, fucking music. You could feel the emotion in it because the way he was expressing those fucking notes.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you got to understand, like, just being a lot younger than you, I was coming across music that you'd already stumbled across and might have even glossed over it. Just to me, that was impactful compared to the shit I was already hearing, like Sean Kingston or whatever the hell that was playing that was so popular back then.
Sean Kingston is that he's more like dance music, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember Sean Paul?
Yeah, Temperature, dude.
Shake that thing, let it boom to zoom, but never ding by do 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 do. Dude, that shit. I used to play that at, like, middle school dances. You know, fucking, like, you play that at, like, a high school dance, wedding. I used to, like, people used to go nuts for that.
It's weird to see how music changed through just the generations, like from older people listening to like Frank Sinatra to where it's at now, where you're listening to like Little Nas or something.
Dude, hip hop, when you were born in 98, right?
97.
Oh shit, dude, you were born
when you graduated.
Well, no, there was a rawness still to the music, especially hip hop in 1997. There was some cheeseball stuff. And then 98, 99, it still had, like, a toughness to it. It wasn't until, like, suddenly in, like, the 2000s, 2001, 2003, 2004, it suddenly started turning into, like, chingy, you know, I'm getting freaky at the Holiday Inn, and it just, and it wasn't until Lil Wayne really started bringing it back to making it more, like, gangsta. I guess it was Lil Wayne, the Carter 3, that did that. That was the big change. And then I started DJing at a strip club in 2009, and it was like, because that was when I was starting to get, you know, my introduction to basically what I called strip hop, which is just music. It's just about getting money. It was about throwing money, wasting money on shit, and then women. That was it. It was just about fucking drugs. And then it made the shift even more into like Future. And then after Future, then it all just started sounding the same. And I don't know where we are with music now. Like with hip hop, I have no idea.
Just stuff to hit the charts that's not meant to be, I guess, memorable. I mean, you look at songs back in the day, like stuff that's kind of lasted. I mean, whenever you turn on an AC/DC track or something, you can get pumped up by that. You turn on Guns N' Roses, those classic songs, like they're still good now. But everything you hear, like, all about that bass that was so popular just a few years ago, you don't hear about that anymore. You don't hear about Hello by Adele anymore. All these songs that were so popular at that
Oh
time.
no,
And they all, like, spelled out.
Adele. You can't shit on Adele. She's the real deal superstar. Like she just hasn't put out a record. She's going through a divorce right now. Adele is probably one of the bigger like she's if not the biggest female artist. I don't know. That's kind of like has a lasting power. Someone like her, like Taylor Swift, but Adele lasts. Adele isn't music of the past. I think she's important. I think she's making important music.
What I'm saying is it's not on the charts right now. It's not any of that type of stuff. The way
Okay.
music used to be, like the way you're doing with Rolling Stones, you're hitting these artists that have songs that have impacted so much that if you turn them on today, they still resonate today. The stuff that's coming out now is not going to resonate in 10 years from now. It's not going to be something that people are going to be, listening to, just like if you popped in a Guns N' Roses CD right now, at least in my mind.
You're saying that the older music doesn't resonate now? I don't understand.
Opposite. That it does. The older stuff resonates now. The stuff that came out a year ago, stuff like Old Town Road.
Oh yeah.
That's not going to be anything in the future.
Well, so no, it'll be a one-hit wonder song. I don't know how forgotten it'll be, but dude, it's one of the biggest songs of all time. I mean,
for the time period that it came out, that it was on the charts, but now it's not on the top charts anymore. What I'm saying is those songs are something that drift out. You know what I mean?
Dude, I still listen to Gangnam Style.
I don't fucking listen to Gangnam Style at all. I don't even think it's like that. That's not even on YouTube anymore, I don't think.
I don't know about you guys, but I still listen to Gangnam Style. That's hysterical. Gangnam Style. No, that's why I did the podcast, because I've had these moments in my life where I'm listening to something in my car driving, and it just stops me in my track where I'm like, oh fuck, I just want to listen to this song over and over and over and over again. And I do that a lot. It's not a lot. It's probably once every few months. But there's just a song I've just become obsessed with. And I wasn't getting that from new music. So I wanted to, I knew it was in these albums. I knew there was something important about listening to all of these great records that was going to make me happier, make me connect with people more, connect with the world. And I got that. I still get it. I mean, like I said, right now in this exact moment, if I didn't have the 500 and I wasn't listening to the Ronettes, which I have to do next week, and the girl groups and the Supremes, would I be happy in this moment? I don't know. I mean, it would be scary. It would be scary if I never would be on this journey,
I mean, I look at that a little bit too with this podcast. I mean, just doing something, I guess, keeping my mind motivated. I mean, I'm an insomniac, so I only sleep probably 3 or 4 hours a night if I'm lucky, maybe 3 or 4 every 2 days. So I'm spending a lot of time thinking. If anything, I'm writing something, I'm doing something, just trying to find any way to keep busy. And this helps me keep busy.
So you getting 2 or 3 hours every couple days? Are you smoking meth?
I wish.
We all do.
I would probably be a lot more balanced out. Ever since I was a little kid, just never really slept a lot. Like, so I do this. My podcast comes out every single day. So that's an hour to 2 hour conversations with a person. So I can crank out 9 or 10 recordings, and I'm on episode 411 right now. So when this comes out, probably episode 413 or something. I still have.
That's great, dude.
Well, I mean, like even from the start when I did this thing, my very first episode, me and my buddy were just shooting the shit, literally about shit. He works HVAC. I used to work at a hotel. So I was like, I've taken a dump in every single room on the whole entire hotel from 11th down all the way down to the first floor. I made it a mission out of the 3 years I worked there. And it just grew from there. Eventually I started reaching out to just people, everyday people. I find them on Instagram. Hey, what do you do? End up getting hot sauces sent to me, people that make their own hot sauce companies, people that are doing something. And I think that's what was most interesting to me was I was inviting these people, not just to have a conversation, but to hear what they had to say,
Yeah.
because I think that's important, because why the hell does it always have to be somebody famous or somebody that has something? Every single show I see nowadays is like, we're interviewing this guy on this and this and this, and that's cool and all. I've been happy to get famous people like
Get that real person, man. Get somebody real.
Yeah, someone that makes fun of my
Right?
accent and says Ocean City. You know what I mean? Makes fun of my
What's the big drug problem down in Ocean City? Like, what is it? Is it painkillers?
it's opioids. I don't. Yeah, like I just lost someone I knew a couple days ago from it.
Really?
So, yeah.
What were they doing? Like just
All I know is that they
oxys?
OD'd, and apparently, from what I've heard, it's meth or something. So.
Well, that's not an opioid. That's really sucks. I'm sorry. Yeah, my sister's a doctor in Salisbury, and she said they used to call it Pillsbury.
Yeah, it's still like that. It was very bad. I mean, the DARE program left us when we were in school. That shit did not do anything beneficial to anybody. But what really happened was like where I started when I graduated high school was getting into chemical dependency, because one of my best friends, his brother, me and him are very close. His brother passed away from overdose. Like he came home to that. And then I was when I was graduating high school, was to help with chemical dependency to help out in our area. I went to all the addiction classes. I had stories on that too. I mean, what I thought was weird was like my dad had an addiction problem when it came to alcohol. And then everyone in my family either smokes pot or something. So I just kind of didn't bog into any of that. Watching that, like, it was interesting because you were when I heard you were saying on a podcast was how you were getting clean, and you still like worked at like a strip club and being around all that and not kind of trying to fall into it. Like my dad had the same thing. He's recovering from alcohol, but he had to go DJ every night. So every single night people are offering him up shots. So
Oh,
it's
I
like
know. Yeah,
that
I
shit
know.
just that seems like you wouldn't want to be in that situation, but to see someone go through that and then try and get involved in it. I mean, it's flooded our whole area. There's kids younger than me that are addicted to shit. There's kids my age, are 14 years old that are getting pregnant down here. It's because the
Yeah,
world, I mean, I talked about it with Steve Simone. We're not fucking talking anymore, man. Nobody's talking to each other. Everybody's going in their homes, trying to work on their own shit. It's all about me, me, me. And this world nowadays is not about love or, talking to somebody anymore. I'll strike up a random conversation with someone just to see what's going on. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to, it's weird because if I reach out to a guest, like I reach out to hundreds of people a day or something, just saying, hey, you want to be on a podcast? It's just conversation. 2/3 of the fucking people just want to sit there and be like, why me? What are you going to attack me about? What is the problem? What do you do? What are you about? It's like, because we've got to this point as people where everything's a fucking attack. Everything's picking someone else's flaws out or some shit. And it just pisses me off. It's like, shouldn't be that way. I mean, we should all be singing Kumbaya or fucking Toto Africa or something. Jesus Christ.
preach, brother. Good. Yeah, good for you. You're doing it. You're doing it right, bud.
I mean, it's not me. Like I already tell people, I could end this thing easy if people just decided, like every person I've talked to, they started communicating more in their own lives. I mean, it's not hard. There's people I vibe with and there's people that give me shit or whatever and just like to joke around and have fun. That's cool, dude. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we all got something we got to say. I always look at it like, I mean, I spent hours and hours a day talking to people, sometimes more interview style where I'm just asking questions, not really just shooting the shit like how we've been doing, just shitting on Ocean City. But I mean, it's fun.
Not
It's
shitting
enjoyable.
on. Not shitting on. Not shitting on.
Not
I
saying
love Ocean
shitting in a bad way. You could be shitting on them in a good way.
Ocean
That
City
accent is
great.
something that if you get a girl that has that accent, that if you're not from Ocean City, Maryland,
I mean,
that girl.
give you a blowjob.
Blowjob.
All right, brother. I got to get out of here, man.
All right, man. Thanks so much for coming on, Josh.
Oh,
man.
my pleasure. This was a blast.
I'll make
This
sure to
was a
link
lot
all
of
your
fun.
stuff in the description too, Josh.
Thank you. Dude, have a good night. Keep doing it. You're doing great. You're doing fantastic, dude.